CrossFit is a sport designed with built-in adaptations so that anyone, regardless of level or limitations, can complete any workout. These adaptations are not just for beginners, they can also be extremely useful for experienced athletes so that they can stay true to the intended stimulus of the workout. Let's dive into this topic. In CrossFit, adaptations can apply to movement complexity, load, or any other factor. To make it simple, workouts are usually divided into two main categories. RX, which means doing the workout exactly as it was programmed without any modification, and scaled, which means performing the workout with one or several adaptations, no matter what kind. Scaling can involve modifying every movement in a workout, simply adjusting one load on a complex movement and everything in between. This flexibility is what allows pregnant women, competitors, teens, seniors, adaptive athletes, people with obesity, and so on to all train together in the same environment. Now, based on this, it might seem like the only real way to improve is to strictly train RX. After all, if you want to compete, RX will be the standard, and the harder you train, the more you improve, right? Well, not exactly. First, if that logic were entirely true, then training RX Plus with even tougher standards than competitions would be even better. But that's clearly not how it works. And second, CrossFit develops a huge variety of physical abilities through a lot of different formats and exercises. Take the clean and jerk, for example. A heavy clean and jerk primarily tests strength. A series of 30 lighter clean and jerks performed as fast as possible requires more endurance. Add in some heavy clean and jerks separated by long running intervals, and suddenly you're mixing the physical abilities that are being challenged. In other words, the same movement can target a lot of different physical abilities depending on the workout design. That is why programming matters so much. Coaches don't just throw random exercises together and call it a session. They carefully plan focus points, goals, and progressions. Some sessions are meant to develop your endurance more than your strength, others to sharpen technique rather than build volume, and so on. Your job as an athlete is to try and understand what focus, what stimulus your coach is trying to aim for, meaning what part of your fitness is supposed to be challenged in that specific session. Let's look at a famous example, Fran. This workout is a 21, 15, 9 repetitions of thrusters, so a front squat into a push press, and pull-ups. So it means you do 21 thrusters and 21 pull-ups, then 15, 15, and finally 9 and 9. When looking at this workout, you understand that it is supposed to be performed fast, under 3 minutes at high level. It is kind of a sprint. The weights are light, 42.5 kgs or 95 pounds for the thrusters, and body weight for the pull-ups with a keeping motion allowed. So with a total of 90 repetitions, the goal is going to be to minimize rest, stay moving, and push through with unbroken or nearly unbroken sets. But here's the problem. If 42.5 kg feels heavy for you, or if pull-ups are a major weakness, you'll end up having to break everything into small sets with long rest. So technically you'll still finish the workout, but you will completely miss the intended stimulus. Instead of a sprint, you've turned Fran into a long grind. That not only slows down your progress, but also breaks your coach's programming logic. CrossFit programming and periodization is precise as there is so much to work on. Coaches draw on physiology, psychology, anatomy, and more to design sessions. So if they've planned a certain stimulus, there's a reason. And you will improve more by trying to follow it, even if it means scaling the workout, than by trying to force RX at all costs. We often see people at the gym loading weights far too heavy, sacrificing form in the process, and the first thing you think when you see that is they should lower the weight and focus on proper technique to move better. The exact same principle applies to CrossFit. Just because you can technically perform a workout RX does not mean it's the smartest choice. So, going back to Fran. If lowering the barbell weight, using a resistance band for pull-ups, or even swapping them for ring rows allows you to follow the intended stimulus better, then do it. This approach will yield far better results in the long run than trying to RX everything if you're not yet able to. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, suggestions, or anything else, feel free to drop a comment down below. And if you want to contact me straight through my social medias, the links are in the description. I'll see you next Sunday, and until then, train hard, stay consistent, and never forget, make yourself proud.